Welcome to Self-Critic Reviews, and today Self-Critic is gonna review Archer's newest season, Season 10. Spoilers ahead.
These are Self-Critic Reviews on television and news. If this ain't your favorite artist, well you're not getting them news. This is Self-Critic Reviews.
If this gonna get different news, open if it's a good tune, get the ass get the news.
If you want some unbiased opinions, an analytic mind is worth billions. Yet he has been hiding his brilliance underneath this stifling diffidence. And if you don't like his opinions, go look for like-minded civilians to whine in the comment section and slap a dislike on his videos.
Even though it's only been 3 seasons since they changed their format and Archer died, it feels like forever. All these rebooted versions of the show are really not doing much for me. While the real Archer is dead or in a coma or having hallucinations, we're treated to what probably are his dreams. The only comfort is that this is a comedy, so things shouldn't change that much, but it still feels like it's cheating. Because instead of progressing the real story forward, the show is milking different versions of the same characters in imaginary settings. While it does in a way sound like I'm criticizing this show for what I suggested Fear the Walking Dead to do, I think this is not the same thing. The show is essentially leaving a huge cliffhanger unresolved for years. Admittedly, this might finally change, and we'll discuss it later. Because they are comfortable with what they got. And what they got is honestly total BS. Because even before Season 7, Archer the show started going to seed, with jokes becoming less and less funny with every season. And starting from these dream hallucination seasons, the quality deteriorated even deeper. Season 10 is no exception in that regard. The theme is space, and once again, it's one of those imaginary seasons. All the characters got a facelift or a do-over, and usually this is one of the better aspects of these imaginary settings. Seeing characters in different clothes, different haircuts, and sometimes even different bodies. The personalities mostly stay the same, and that's a good thing. Pam's character looking like a giant creature made of stone was amusing. Cheryl's hair being short was an interesting choice as well. Mallory being able to transform back and forth was cool. The change for the rest of the characters was pretty ordinary. Nothing special, but at the same time, not a bad design. The humor throughout the whole season really fell flat for me. Because for the large number of jokes in this season, I can really count the number of times I actually laughed at them on one hand, which is pretty bad. And even the jokes that I liked were not even that great. I didn't really keep track of the failed humor, but let me provide you with some examples.
Wait, mother, hang on.
Did you fart in my stasis pod again? Can you believe this?
Right? I'm not gonna lie. I've got my species equivalent of a boner. Shut up. You can't smell it.
Yes, we can.
And speaking of crazy, what is that smell?
Oh, damn it, did Pam have a boner in here?
What? You can smell them?
You can't?
It wasn't the fact that you slept with everything on 2 legs?
Not always do.
Pam's catchphrases aren't really funny at all.
Holy shit snacks. Holy shit snacks. Holy space snacks.
Holy
Shit snacks.
Ooh, Frank.
Space phrasing.
Well-
Space phrasing. Space phrasing.
Or catchphrases in general. But to be fair, I do like Krieger's yup yup yup.
Krieger?
Yep. You got the sentry guns online? Yep.
But the way the characters talk, the way they present themselves in same character, especially Archer or Mallory, it's all neatly written. But it's just not funny, for the most part. I can't really say that the jokes are cringy, and sometimes they're even interesting.
Or an army of space mummies.
Look up, Circuit Dick.
Well, hello. I'm Mr. Deadly, and I'm coming with you.
And if we don't take you?
Written right on the side.
Could you say that one more time?
I'm a sentient doomsday device created by an extinct alien race, but never used.
Wait, never used? What about all those bodies?
I didn't kill them. They died fighting over me.
But you gestured threateningly.
I've been alone for thousands of years, so my nonverbal communication skills are a bit rusty.
Am I to understand that we brought a giant bomb onto the ship because you misunderstood its gestures?
Yeah, keep working on it, buddy.
But they just aren't effective. And that's no fun. Ray's character has been quite detrimental to the series as a whole, since he has never been that interesting. So his limited involvement in this season worked out to the show's benefit. And to a lesser extent, the same can be said about Cyril's character. Cheryl has gotten quite out of hand over the course of the show. I do not remember what she was like in season 1, but her crazy shtick and lack of intelligence have become more exaggerated than they ever needed to be, which makes her screen time tiresome. I've always been a fan of Krieger and his personality, and this season he was one of the better characters. Last season he was some kind of animal, I believe, which was a waste, so I'm glad he took a humanoid form this season. Lana was her usual self. Maybe angrier and less effective than usual, but okay. So was Mallory, but her presence wasn't too felt. Pam... I'm on the fence about her. I like her appearance, but as a character, she's polarizing. I would say in every season. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Examples of good jokes. And the example I'll provide is probably not going to be much better than the so-called bad jokes. But this really made me laugh.
I honestly don't know what got into me, and when this is over, you can punish me however you see fit.
It's however.
Shut up!
I don't even know why I laughed. This series, actually not just this series, but a lot of the stuff that I watch, have used the it's whomever not whoever joke and it's whom not who, etc. quite a bit. And these catchphrases got imprinted in my brain. So the parody of this joke, especially coming from the mouth of the least intelligent person on the show, Cheryl, it makes it even funnier. And I honestly cannot remember what else I might have laughed at. You just watch whatever and become numb to the jokes. As far as individual episodes go, I really enjoyed the one with the eggs, that highlighted your inner desires and made you braver to follow up on them. Archer and Lana sleeping together 5 billion times, Cyril being rude to Archer, diminishing his masculinity. It was all pretty amusing. Cheryl wanting to make everybody miserable and throwing away all the eggs was good writing and a seamless conclusion to the arc. The storyline with the robot was relatively interesting too, but not too funny. I also would like to mention that I really despise these space battles. They generally suck in every single show or movie ever, and it's just a matter of being able to tolerate them to be able to get through the good parts. But since the good parts of this season were scarce, the space battle scenes seemed even lamer than they actually were. Alright, so I've discussed just about everything that I considered important this season, except for one little thing. The one thing every single Archer viewer has been waiting for these dreams to finally stop. And the last 2 episodes were kind of a setup for that. And starting from episode 8, Archer's vision got kind of corrupted, and he started seeing characters the way they actually look like, instead of what they look like this season. And it has been presented as a glitch in the computer system, as opposed to being a hallucination, which is highlighted by the sound effect. This means that there is a possibility Archer is a robot now, but maybe not. Maybe the show just decided it was the cooler way to illustrate Archer going back to reality.
Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
The episodes themselves, dedicated to Archer in the dream hallucinating between what's real and what isn't, weren't that great. But the fact that it's finally happening is giving me hope. The montage in the middle of the 9th episode, serving as a bridge between reality and fiction, was nice. And it also illustrated the art change throughout the seasons. For example, here Archer's character seems to have a thinner contour than what he has now. Although it's entirely possible it was a one-time thing to illustrate Archer being sick or something. So by the end of the episode, Archer finally woke up. And unless there is some sort of caveat, Archer was in a coma for 3 years, and he finally woke up. The fact that his ruthless mother stayed by Archer's side all these years in the hospital was really sweet. A little out of character for her, because she's often shown to be really callous to her son. but I thought the sentimentality was warranted and an interesting choice. And of course, predictably, we do not know every other main character's fates. That is going to be explained next season. And at this point, those fates can literally be anything. The writers have a difficult task ahead of them, and I hope the change is going to be compelling and will make up for the pointless imaginary seasons we've endured. Is Archer back? Are the writers toying with us? Your guess is as good as mine. Let's hope for the better. Thanks for watching.